Hello everyone, my name is Corazar, and welcome back to the Vintage Story Guide. We are back in the world on this December day. Soon Santa Claus will come and fill our chimneys with coal and send bells to come and ring beautiful sounds as we fall asleep at night, and the drifters to sing carols by our front door. It'll be glorious! Anyway, folks, it is good to be back again. Hopefully, 2 episodes in the same week, or at least weekend. It will be wonderful. As you can see, I have been a little busy. I kind of moved house while I had some time to kind of just sit and think and test things out and make sure recordings were going okay. And I have been a busy bee. Because I haven't just moved house, I have been doing a lot of things in the past few episodes. For starters, I went and mined a big load of limestone. While I was there, though, I seem to have attracted a crowd. You want to watch? You pay the entry fee. This isn't a free show. Get out. Out, I say. And then I went out to see if I could help concentrate wealth in the upper class. The upper class wasn't interested, so I concentrated wealth in the proletariat and ended up digging some sand. Fortune favored us that day, though, and I stumbled across another olivine deposit just below the sand. On the way home, I happened across a rare rainbow maple. Make sure you too see these before you update to 1.18.9 or higher. When I got home, I baked a lot of pies. The next day, when I went to mine some claystone, I ran into a vein of black coal. And then I mined that claystone. And some peridotite. I went back to the ruling class, but they still weren't interested in letting me help them concentrate wealth in their hands. Weird. Alright, Rote, what do you got for me today? Really? For 59 gears? 59? 59? What, Rote? Are you ripping me off? You're ripping me off, I think. I come all this way for some pants and a breastplate, and the best you got is a 59 gear silver and steel falx? No. Farewell. You're in the timeout corner. Go think about what you did to me. Then, several of you reminded me about an oversight from a while ago that needed correcting. You saw nothing. Anyway, after that, I mined out some quartz from our silver-bearing quartz vein. The silver today was just a bonus, because we need some more glass moving forward. Speaking of bonuses, I also found a small crystal-filled geode. Nice! And all that brings us back to where we are today. What are we doing today, Corazar? Well, first of all, we're actually going to stay here and process some of this glass in some fresh bloomeries. Pardon me while I get these ready. Okay, with that done, let's talk about what we're going to do today. Now, I had been hoping and wishing that we could have done the bedroom in the previous episode, but with all of the computer shenanigans that's been going on, it just didn't happen. So today, we are going to build our little bedroom right here. And that is why I went and got all those materials that we now have over in our storage facility over here, which will eventually become a storage room once we actually connect our hallways and things to it. But we now have plenty of sandstone in here and claystone down here, gobs of it. We have the green stone in here, and some limestone up in this box here. And I think all of those are going to be quite important for what we do today. Oh, and yes, as you can see, I have our dirt and clay and sticks and even some fuel over here. Got some, is this peat? Yep. So that's all sorted there, and I have everything here labeled if it has items in it. So we have plenty of unused chests. In fact, most of these bottom chests are unused here. And we have a couple top chests over here that aren't used. So yes, we have plenty of space for storing extra things, and honestly, most of these aren't very full anyway, so yep, we are good on storage for a very long time. Anyway, I want to put some of these materials into the build here. I'm thinking claystone, limestone, peridotite, and peridotite sand. And then I'm not sure what I'll do for the floor. So all those materials were for the walls. I want to see what those look like, and then we will get to the floor. Sometimes I like to design builds in creative, and other times I get an idea in my head, and I just want to try it in survival, and then kind of fit things around it. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to make it morning, and then let's get to it. Alright folks, it is morning, and I think the first order of business is going to be taking down these temporary walls, although they're kind of nice. I think what we'll do is I'm going to take out this bottom layer first, and we'll replace it with the stone that I have in mind for it. And that stone is clay stone. Now, one of these is chiseled and one is not. And I always forget which one is not. That one. Let's grab a couple other odds and ends. We're going to grab the limestone. These can be the chiseled version. So the chiseled versions will have 2 lines in their description. The non-chiseled will not. And I want some of this. Let's grab you. Are also... Ooh. You're chiseled. I actually want some non-chiseled, which would be you. Where are you? Perfect. And then I do believe I want some of this sand, along with maybe some doors. Gonna need a couple of those, I think. I want to use some wood in this build too. Let's come back to that. Let's come back to the wood and get our stones down first. 19 blocks of specifically polished clay stone. There we go. Check it out. I do love polished clay stone. So let's take a look. Look at, not from east or south, I guess, from the western north, look at just how bright and kind of orangey this brown is. It's like a burnished leather. And I really like that look. So let's go ahead and grab this back up, and we are going to just place these down here around the bottom. Ha! I did not miscount. Now, I think we're going to want a couple more pieces of pine log. Let's go grab those. And we'll just take these up right away and put our pine logs in place for our doors. No. There we go. Okay, so now that we have that, let's get this dirt taken down. And we're going to replace it with, you guessed it, some more limestone. I'm going to probably, in general, go relatively heavy on the limestone use in this house, but I do want to do something a bit different with this room. Go ahead and get this down here. Now, I'm going to leave those corners unlimestoned, because I don't think we're going to have limestone showing through on the outside or the inside. Once this is all said and done, the inside walls are probably meant to be limestone, but the outside walls, I want to do something else, and we will chisel those in. Now, I wanted to start with the chiseled stuff for 2 reasons. 1, I think we'll want it chiseled, and 2, because I want to be able to put some kind of windows in here. I think I want to do one here, a 2-block window, and then here, maybe another 2-block wide window. Yeah, let's start with that and see how that works. And then we'll go to our 3rd block high, and then our 4th. And this will be our final block, as our rooms are going to be 3.5 blocks tall. And that's how you drop a stack of limestone in one fell swoop. Now, as far as what kind of trim to put on the walls, I'm kind of thinking that oak might not be the answer. Oh, hello, Bert. Sideways, Bert. I think the oak might look a little too much like the polished clay stone, but I do have a couple pieces, so let's go try it and take a look. So if we do this, yeah, that kind of blends too much, I think. Yeah, that's just too similar. So let's see. So oak is too samey. I think I want a darker wood, which leaves us with either walnut, yeah, walnut or aged, and I think aged might be a bit too dark. Let's try the walnut, and let's try some pie while we're at it. Excellent. Alright, so let's see, walnut. Do we like the walnut? If I press the right buttons, I can get the walnut. You know, I think I don't mind it. Now, I don't know if it's going to give us any trouble with picking this up, because these have been changed. Hey! So it looks like the issues we had with the chiseled blocks has been fixed. So yes, we can pick up our support beams once again, which is great. But I think before we start putting those down, we need to figure out what we're doing with the walls. And that, my friends, means chiseling. I want to put something together that's like a I don't know, like a tree or a leaf pattern or something. And I'm not sure yet if I want it to be like a single stripe around the middle of the wall, or if I want it to be like patterned the whole way up. I am very undecided on that. What I think I will do is I think we're going to probably work through most of the night. So I'm going to build just a little bit of a tunnel between these two parts of our house. And I don't think drifters can get up to there from anywhere around here. Oh, except here. Oh, and from here too. Well, if they get up there, we'll just suffer, I suppose. So, with lantern down, hammer and chisel in hand, we already have this block chiseled. Let's start fiddling around with some of the greenstone. We're going to add some of the polished rock and some of the sand. And we're going to kind of do... Let's start with like a leaf pattern. What would a leaf look like? How high can we go here? Couple more. Let's go a couple more. And then like... like this. Oops. So, leaf kind of outline with the veins running through it, and then maybe like the interior would be this lighter sand color. It's a big leaf though. Maybe we do a smaller leaf. What would a smaller leaf look like? Let's just start over here. Kind of feeling smaller leaf. Smaller leaf. Think small, Corazar. Let's put it offset. Let's maybe do like a, I don't know, 7 blocks long? And then like, I don't know, something like that. No, not like that. 8 blocks long. Is that any good? I think those are cuter. I do think they are cuter. So I wonder, I think what I want to do is, what if I were to copy this, maybe even bring it out like this? Yes. I think that looks a bit better. So we have a single cute little leaf. If I were then to copy this to several different places and kind of randomize it, I don't want to do like every block, but I'm thinking maybe, maybe we mirror it as well. We'll copy and mirror it, and then we'll kind of have 2 different blocks we can kind of scatter around here in a randomized pattern, so that not every block has a leaf on it, and they're not always in the exact same spot. There'll be some that are over on this side of the block. Now to do that, we're going to finally get into I'm going to put my chisel away before I get in trouble with it. We're going to get into a new mod that we have not touched before. We did get into it a little bit in the first season, and a little bit more, actually a lot of it more, in the Rusty Gears Season 2, but that is the QPTech Chisel Tools mod. And as you may recall, I made several of these tools, several different kinds of them, and they're hanging over the door. I'm going to grab all of them now. We probably won't need all of them, but I'll grab all of them for now. And well, that's getting to be kind of full, isn't it? Oops. Heh. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take our pickaxe, and we're going to knock out several of these. And since these are not regular blocks, they will not get destroyed, or they'll not be relieved if we leave some hanging. And let's do maybe a couple of these. I think, although, I don't know that we want to put many of these in the top row, because those are going to be hidden by trim a lot of the time, I think. But we'll do a few at least. All of these blocks we've knocked out will have some kind of leaf on them. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take the number of blocks we knocked out, and I put the rest of our limestone rocks away. We're going to put down 18 of these, 19 of these. We're going to chisel all of them. And then we're going to make 19 chiseled peridotite blocks. I think we may need a 20th one of each of these too, judging by the block that I just picked up. And what we can do is we can combine these like this, although I want to check to make sure. I added the polished rock first, so we need to add that first. Because the ChiselTech mod doesn't look at what materials you have, it looks at how many you have and what positions they're in. We're going to do that, and then we'll do it again with the sand. And now we have our 20 blocks that are all multi-material in the same order. We have limestone, polished peridotite, and polished peridotite sand. We are going to take this pantograph and put it into the replace shape mode. We're going to take a picture with left click and then right click, copy it. And it'll store that indefinitely. We're just going to right click with all of these and put these leaves on. Now these will then need to be rotated. We can do that with this. Rotate. Oh dear. Great, we want to use the chisel to rotate because this rotates around the axis that we're looking at. So we will chisel rotate it. There we go. There we go. Okay, much better. Whew. Okay, so now we have this kind of random, kind of regular, but not quite irregular pattern. We can now go for the flip, and we'll just move a couple of these the opposite side. Oh, you just disappeared, didn't you? There we go. That's too regular. There we go. And there we have just a gentle pattern of leaves, with maybe like one more over this window that could go in. And yeah, I think just one up here would be nice. Maybe this block right here. Yes, I think that works pretty well. I think that's pretty cute. And then let's get our little blocks back in here. These are temporary windows. And let's think about what we're going to do for the furniture, floor, and the ceiling. I think the ceiling I want to tackle first because I kind of want to get a nice bright ceiling in here. kind of like we have in here and in here, but I'm thinking that this time we're going to go for a wooden ceiling. I'm leaning toward larch, and then we'll also do some redwood planks or boards for some trim. And I left my lantern in that room. Okay, so coming in here for the ceiling, I think we're going to go with some nice bright larch. And around the edges, we're going to go ahead and do some of the full blocks, because as we've learned from chiseling other things that involve slabs, we need to use full blocks for doing any chisel work that involves, well, more than half a block. So we'll do that, and I apparently miscounted. Why did I miscount? How did I miscount? And whoa! Is there a new feature? There is. So the grain of the wood actually follows the direction that you placed it now. When did that change? Well, now we all know. So that means that I should probably do something like this. We'll probably that, and then have all those same there. That way, since we can't really have, although you know what? Do you know what? I think for the grain for the larch, this we actually want all going the same direction, and the trim wood is what we'll worry about as far as grain direction goes for making sure it tries to follow the length of the trim. Let's do that. So we're going to do this for grain all going one direction. And I will forget what I was doing, because these middle 9 should just be slabs. And then the rest of these will fill in like that. And now we have a very cozy little room. And we're going to use the iron hand planer. Now we could just use the chisel, and certainly we could and probably should, but I wanted to show you how the hand planer works in case you missed how we use this in the Rusty Gears season, is that if you have a fresh block, you'll of course need to left click with it, and it'll turn it into a chiseled block. And thereafter, hand planer will push or pull, or rather remove or add a full layer connected to whatever voxel you are looking at. So if we were to, say, come in here with the chisel, and let's say we actually did this. If we were to then plane this outward, we would get just the single chisel coming out, single block. And we could also expand on that by doing, say, this. And let's say we wanted to make like a little ridge running this way. We could expand it on this side, like so, and then like this. So it's just another handy tool for detailing your chisel blocks in a new way. We're going to do that. But I do think we'll use the chisel because it is just much more efficient. 4 clicks rather than 8. And there we go. And then I want to come in here with a bit of trim. And for that, we're going to use some redwood planks. And let's see. Oh, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't worry too much about the grain direction, because I think it'll look kind of funny in the corners here when we'll have grain that kind of changes direction. And also, it's going to be a lot harder, or at least more complicated, to get these into the blocks. I'd have to tear these down, chisel all of the redwood blocks, and then combine them in the grafting grid. I think we're just going to do it the newfangled way, not really old-fashioned anymore. And we're just going to come in here and add these individually, like so. Okay, and with that done, we're going to pull out the redwood, going to bring it in here like this, and they'll come in here and we'll just knock out this line across here. And there we go. We have our ceiling and our crown molding. Now, for these walls, I think for now I'm happy with the leaves. I do realize that we're kind of completely hiding a couple of the leaf blocks up above here. That's okay. And I think I want to see how this shakes out before I make any further decisions on the wall patterns, because I don't want the walls to be too noisy, but I don't want them to be too regular either. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the windows here, and I hope I have... Ooh, oh, Bert. You got me again, buddy. Anyway, as I was saying, let's move on to the window sills here. Thank you, Snow. And what I want to do for these guys is I'm thinking about some blue clay bricks, and specifically the full brick blocks, and using those to make a fun trim. And I think what we'll do with these is we're going to make a trim that just goes around these in... Ooh. This is a hobbit-hole. Do I try to go for a round window here? So we are going to have to use the standard windows. Let me see how I did these here. So I just did kind of like a rounded... Ooh, why are you frosty? The heck? It's a bit of a rounded design there. I think we can do something similar in here. That might work better than trying to build out a wider sill, and that would intrude into the room and reduce the room we have to put stuff, like tables and chests and beds and so on. So let's go ahead and pull this out. And I do want to try again just to see what happens if we use some of these slabs. Can we get different directions? No. So the textures on the brick blocks, including these, always goes the same direction. It always goes, what, east-west and north-south for the slabs. So I think it might just look better if we stick with the standard bricks rather than the sort of aligned bricks, just like we did over here on these guys. And that way it just will look a little bit better and less funky. So let's go ahead and pick these up. And we are going to chisel these guys and just go ahead and add these blocks to them. Okay, so we should just be able to do a bit of this. Actually, do we maybe leave these intact? I think we do. No, our beautiful leaf. Oh no, what a shame. And then for these inside bits, we're going to change over to the blue clay bricks. We're just going to drop them in place here. So there we go. We have a bit of a rounder window. That's pretty cute. And we could maybe even wrap this leaf around here a little bit. Let's grab this, and let's just wrap this around there as if it were a little wallpaper thing. There we go. And let's go and get our windows ready over at the other base. So our glass here is done and cold. Good. We'll put our fire bricks away. We will grab our lead from over here. We'll just bring all this with us. And then let's go and see what color windows we might think would work in here. Now granted, the frames themselves aren't that big, so usually you can get away with just about any color. But it might be nice to have something that makes a splash, or conversely, maybe one that looks like the other windows, as if we had, the same builder. Although given that we are purposely making each portion of the house maybe a little bit different than the others, maybe that isn't so important. Now I'm thinking it could be nice to use... I was thinking of using the redwood frames, but that might be a bit too much, a bit too bright. I am actually thinking of going back to the pine frames that we used in this room. That way they kind of mirror a bit the claystone vibe we have going on. Let's try that, and if we hate it, well, then we have, I guess we have a few pine-framed windows that we don't need yet. We'll save it for a future project. Okay, so we have 4 window panes. What do we think? Do you know, I like it. I like it. It kind of helps bridge the gap between the earthy claystone and the bright, well, it says larch, but this is redwood trim up here. By using kind of the claystone's color, but the wood's texture. I do actually like that. So, let's do the same thing for this window. And bam, it's done. Check it out. We have a nice bright bedroom. Bright because our lantern is here, more than anything. Let's get our floor in, and I was thinking I might want to start maybe with a redwood floor. It might be too much. So, let's go try it. I'm going to put some things away. But let's try it and see how it looks. And again, if we hate it, we can always pick it up and put something else down. There we go. What do we think? Do you know? It is pretty bright, but I don't hate it. Let me see if it looks good with the lantern not in my hand. You know, I liked it. It's kind of like we have these other colors sandwiched between 2, like, pieces of redwood bread, and then a bit of a lighter dusting of larch flower on top, if you will. And then that leaves room for kind of some darker things in here, like darker furniture. Let's go see what kinds of furniture we have. Like, I don't know, an aged wooden bed. You definitely go in this corner here. That's where we're going to sleep. Oh, and then we have some other odds and ends. Let's go see what we have. Furniture. Oh, we have, yes, an owl treasure chest. Certainly, certainly. We have an aged wooden chair and an aged wooden table. I think those will fit nicely in there. Let's see. These bookshelves are neat, but I want to get into the more modern bookshelves. These things soon enough here. So I think we'll leave them out of it for now. And maybe we'll look into building like a little wardrobe or something. Ooh, yes, you know what? We could build a walnut wardrobe. Do we want walnut? Because we'll have that walnut around the whole area. Maybe we want... Do we do aged? Ooh, I think we will try it. And if not aged, then oddly, maybe maple would work. Maple's green color often kind of turns me off, but I think it might work okay in this instance. Oh, hello. Lack of light. Let's drop you there. And we're going to put... I think if we're doing a wardrobe, it's going to go in the corner here. So, let's do a table, say, here. Is that a good spot for the table? I think so. And then we'll have a chair right here. This might be where we put our shoes on in the morning, or what have you. And of course, we need to have a little owl chest at the foot of our bed. And have a bite to eat. Oh, you know what? Let's sit at our table, and we'll have a bite to eat as we watch Bert waddle on by. Let's see. Yeah, you know, this is pretty comfortable. Could use some more cushion in the chair, though. Oh well. It's secondhand. And then, yeah, let's pick you back up. I'm going to drop these here just to see what it would look like. Ooh, that is pretty dark. Darker even than these things are. What would maple look like here instead? Actually, you know, it's not bad. Let's do a maple wardrobe. And we'll have the walnut, whatever this is, go across here like so. The beams is what they are. Beams. Get this going across like that. 3 left so far. Oop. Oh. And we have 1 left, so we'll do you there. Need 1, 2, 3. Hey, look, 1 more log's worth. And then, let's see, let's grab these two. We're going to want to make a door for this thing. And the door is going to go, not there. The door gets to go right here. Let's see. I would like it to open this direction. I'm not sure how we'd get that to do it. So this is fine for now. And then we're going to plankify these guys, or rather slabify them. And we're just going to do a bit of this, and you get to go... Oh, we can't do that there. Okay. Well, let's maybe grab you temporarily. We'll put you there like that. And then we'll stick you, bounce, 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 there on top. And then here, again, is where the hand planer comes into place, or into play. We don't have to chunk this down with a chisel by doing like a 4 and then a 2 and then a 1. We can just... Bam, done. Look at that. Oh, man. Ah, it's so good. We're going to 6 and 7. And there we go. And then in here, we can put a couple other odds and ends. Let's see. Maybe we have a chest we can put in there? A single chest? A labeled chest. Sure. Labels are fine. And then I was thinking about maybe having a little shelf up top. And we'll just use some oak for that. There we go. And then we need one more walnut log. And away we go. Alright, so shelf goes there, and chest goes there. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I like that. Very nice. And then you can start here, and go to there. And you can start here, and go to there. And then there's one more thing that we need in here, and that is a light source. And since this is a room, like a bedroom, we don't want to have a smelly flame, like a torch flame. We want some kind of lantern. And I think for that room, because it is kind of a bright room color-wise, I think we are going to go with another Molybdenum Chalcos lantern. Okay, everyone, here we go. Here is what is hopefully the coup de grace. Let's see. We could put it on the table, and that would look nice. And you know what? Yes, let's do it. That way it'll also illuminate a bit outside here, too. I was thinking maybe over the door, like over this direction, but, I'm thinking not. Now, something I do want to come through here and do is... Well, two things, actually. There is a decoration that I wanted to add. Since we actually have them now, I think one of these crystals, maybe even a couple, could be fun to put in our room. Maybe we could put one... solid face. Oh. So that isn't a solid face, but this one is. Weird. Maybe one like over our bed. Yeah, over our bed. And one here, over there. That's kind of fun. It sort of just jazzes the room up a little bit. Okay, so I think the last thing that we need to do is we're probably going to take down these beams again in a second, but I want to get in our rounded door frames. We haven't really done that here in the living room yet, but I want to start doing that a bit more religiously now. We need to get our round door frames in. So let's grab our pine once again. Do we have any pine up here? Plenty. Oh, plenty. And now that we have the pantograph tool from the ChiselTech mod, we should be able to more easily copy these now. I mean, we can more easily copy them. So let's go do that. Let's put down a bunch of these after we tear up our beams once again. It's a very weird destruction animation. And I think what we'll do is I'm just going to kind of add the wood in here kind of as a bit of a frame rather than trying to build out a whole circle, of course. But let's go ahead and get some of these in here. Something a bit like this should do for a start. And now I can't get out to actually copy those blocks, can I? Whoops. So here we go. We are going to... Let's start with this one. And that way we can... Actually, no. Let's start with the left one. We can chisel you. And then we need to use our actual chisel and our hammer to rotate you that way. So one left click for each of these. Now the pantograph is a powerful tool, and so with that power comes great responsibility, but if you do mess up, like let's say I went and did that, I'm like, shoot. Well, for one, it's completely recoverable. We can just overwrite it with, say, this. Done. However, if we didn't want to do that, we can actually go through and there is an undo. It does one step, so make sure that you aren't moving too fast so that you can actually undo your work if need be, or your mistake rather than your work. Go ahead and grab you. So there we have the start of our circle. Actually, the circle is most of it there. And what I'm going to do here is we're just going to take out some of these. Like that. And we're going to add some of this to them. Like so. And there we have our little circular door frame. Is there a little bit on top of that I'm missing? No, it's flat on top too. Okay. So there we go. We have our cute little hobbit-hole room. I think we'll need to figure out whether we want to also do wood on the interior here, like we did on the front door, or leave it as it is. Could go either way, honestly. But that, I think, will be a tale for a different episode when we come through and kind of start to standardize some of the designs in our house once we get a few ideas of what we like. Anyway, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the episode and the designing and building of our new room, replete with its decorations and furnishings, and our little wardrobe over there. In the next few episodes, you can expect to see some more filling out of our house. I think we should probably do maybe the room next door to us right now, right through that wall there. And then maybe get the hallway in so that we don't have to have like a dirt safety corridor between here and the living room. And then I think I want to get our cellar going, and maybe we'll do the hallway and the cellar together. I meant together as in like, one episode, not like you all and me together. We do everything together, don't we? Of course. We're like family. So look forward to that. I'm going to think about what kinds of designs I want to use in what I think I will go ahead and call the butterfly room. I think that room next to us will indeed be the butterfly room. And I am thinking of some other interesting design features for it, so we'll see how this pan out. As always, my name is Karazar. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.